Hi there. This is not something I normally do. I normally talk about my Garage Master system and play band stuff. But Windows 11's on the way, and a lot of computers are not going to be able to run it because they don't have up-to-date BIOSes. My big old gaming PC that I've had for a while doesn't have an up-to-date BIOS. It's not going to be able to run it, but it does everything I need. So I don't use it. So this is my alternative. I'm actually running under Linux, and I've been showing Zorin OS to loads of people. Even if you've got an old 32-bit machine, Zorin will run. Okay, and it'll actually revolutionise your little old Windows XP computer and make it usable. You can get a version of Zorin Lite. So you download the ISO, you can burn it using something like UNet boot in. If you search for that on the internet, you can burn it to a little USB key. You then boot from it and you get this screen. If you're on a Mac or a MacBook Pro, they don't really have the support for the machine, so the best way to do it is to buy something called Parallels Desktop, which is really good for running Windows and other operating systems, and then install it. When you install it, it'll say unrecognized operating system. What do you want to install? And choose Ubuntu because it's the same base operating system underneath it. So the beauty of this is that I'm going to show you some really cool things. So I'm going to do install Zorin OS. As you can see, just click on install like that. And in this case, I'm in the UK, of course. I'm going to go for the Macintosh because it is a Macintosh system. Again, as I said before, I have tried to install this natively on this. This is a 2016 late 2016 MacBook Pro. It didn't really work. Just hasn't got the stuff. But with Parallels, it works really well, and it interfaces with my Mac operating system as well. So I can do erase disk because it's a virtual machine, so I'm installing it. It runs really, really fast. Okay, so continue. You can run it alongside your existing operating system if you want to. I'm just going to click through this. So put the name in. In fact, I'll put it in caps. Don't use my name. Anyway, Saint. So I always use Saint names for some reason. Don't ask me why. Okay. I wouldn't recommend you logging automatically. It's very dangerous because anyone who stole your computer would then be able to get your stuff. And you see here it goes copying files. It's really quick, obviously, because it's copying from in this case it's because it's Parallels. It's installing from an ISO. Again, if you install off a USB, it's really quick. You can be up and running in like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. It really is great if you've got an older PC. I've got a dual-core Pentium laptop I was given with a dodgy keyboard and a power supply that was broken. Bought a new power supply for £15, new keyboard for £5, installed Zorin on it, and now it's used by my band as the laptop for the mixer. But it's actually really fast and usable. It's got an SSD in it as well, this old laptop. But what you're looking at now is a 2016 MacBook Pro. It's got like 16 gig of RAM, so it's quite sweet. Zorin comes with loads of software. You can install masses and masses of software. It's got everything you need, Office, everything. So if you're like a basic computer user and you're not intensively using it, then you're not going to have a problem with it. It's really great, and I'll show you actually. Cheekily, there's different. You can even make it work differently to like Windows 10. You can make it look like Windows 10 in a way. You can make it look like Windows 11 or a Mac sort of look and feel just by changing a few settings. So we're nearly there. Sorry about the delay, but I'm very excited about this operating system. I think it's a great alternative if you've got a machine or you want to try out Linux because it's really simple to set up. Everything's kind of done for you. So we're nearly there. As you can see, the little blue lines going along. But Windows 10 is, of course, 2025. They're going to be discontinuing support for Windows 10, but Linux, it just goes on for years because it's not run by any one company. There are basically different flavors of Linux, and that's that really. So anyway, it says installing system now, so just waiting for it to install. Again, I'm running under my Mac. That's my Mac. This is Linux, so it's a virtual machine. On my gaming PC, it's the only operating system I have on there. Don't have Windows at all. In fact, I've stopped really using Windows, apart from things where I really have to use Windows. But a lot of Windows apps will run on will actually run on Linux. Just going to talk a bit about what's happening now. So as you can see, it says scanning the mirror. So what it's basically doing now is it's downloading updates. So when you install it, it gives you the option to install updates. Through this video, I should have done it. Should have let it install and then not done the updates later on. So I know this is a bit of talking and not much doing yet, but that's okay. We'll get there. I'm going to just pause this video. Okay, so we've now finally installed it. We're now booting up, as you can see, this very cool Zorin logo. Move my mouse around. You can see some stuff happening. There's my login. Really clean, easy to use. Just log into it. It's very fast to boot. Obviously, if you've got a slower, older machine, it ain't going to be as quick, but because this is running on an SSD. Incidentally, everything's working now, so you can see I've just booted now. By default, it comes set up like this. It looks just like good old Windows. You can search in this box, and you can see it's already packed out with lots and lots of software, including Office. It's got a full set of Office on here. It's not Microsoft. It's like a free Office you can download. You've got this little briefcase here. If you click on this, let's go shopping. Okay, then it just downloads, and that I'll show you that in a second. So rather than waste your time. One of the things you can do is go into settings, have a look at that. So there's loads of different things in here with Bluetooth. You can choose what background you have. I quite like this one. Or this one is one of my favourites, so I'm going to use that. You can choose to have, there's actually 2 applications for this. So if I come out of settings, so there you can see all the different software. There's just tons and tons of it. It's got lots of standard software you're used to on Mac or Windows, like Spotify, just tons and tons of free software that you can use to replace what you've been paying for. So I'm going to go to Appearance. I think Zorin Appearance. Okay, this is cool. One of the first things you probably want to do. Now this lets you set up how you want it to look. Okay, so if you're, let me just first, I like dark mode, so I put it in dark mode. Layout, so you can have it, if you want it to work more like a Mac, you can just click on this one here. You see that everything's in the middle there. So I'm going to go for that for this version, and in fact it looks a lot like Windows 11, but we got there first, Zorin got there first, and the Linux operating system had it way before. I like Jelly mode because it's like the Mac as well. Taskbar settings, you can choose to, there's all kinds of different options, so I can have a really small taskbar or a really bigger one, whatever I like. So there's loads of nice things in there. I always like to have all these things at home. I don't like a cluttered desktop, but I do like to have the basic things on there. And of course here it's already saying, please, can I do updates? You notice they're not like Windows updates in that we don't have to shut the machine down and sit there with that blue screen. It really is quite annoying. Just when it wants to update, you just do it. If it wants to restart, it will tell you. Otherwise, you can just carry on doing your work. So that if you're a Mac user, you'll recognise this. This look and feel is just like having the old Apple. And then you've got, this is for bringing up the windows. So for instance, if I open Firefox, they've got a customized version of Firefox. It's proper Firefox, but obviously for Linux. And when you boot it up, you should get, it's just loading now, you can see that. Looking at plausible.zorin.com. So it's got their own start page. You can obviously change that in the preferences to Firefox to whatever you want. I quite like it, to be honest, as we wait for it to turn up. It's only because I'm probably downloading updates. But again, if I then click on, there it goes. So there it is. If I then click on this, you can see that it brings up the windows, the different windows I've got there. So that's it really. It's just, that's basically a really basic introduction. I might actually change my settings. I think I'm going to go back to the more Windowsy look, because I think it actually works better. So just go into Zorin appearance, and then I'll just change. Oh, just change my appearance back to this. You can change it any time. In fact, I go for a slightly smaller look because I quite like that. So yeah, there you go. That's Zorin OS, and as you can see, it's very clean. It's very quick. I use it every day, all day. My main machine is only running Zorin OS. Everything works, and it's just brilliant. It's just the best thing ever. So if you're a bit fed up with Windows and you want to try something new, this is really well worth doing it. Obviously, make sure you back up all your current, make sure you back up everything, because obviously this will erase everything on your hard drive unless you choose to run it alongside. You can actually boot and try it out without without even installing it. Just run it straight off of a USB stick. They do offer an ultra version, which is 30 quid, which is quite worth having, I suppose. So that's it really. Thanks for watching.